The vastness of space was no longer a mystery to most races in the galaxy. Thousands of alien civilizations had mastered faster-than-light travel, colonized distant planets, and formed complex alliances. In this grand cosmic theater, Earth and its humans were seen as nothing more than an amusing sideshow. Dr. Aisha Khan stood at the large window of her lab, her dark eyes fixed on the stars above. She was a brilliant scientist, but in the eyes of the galactic community, she might as well have been a caveman trying to invent the wheel. The thought made her fists clench. "Dr. Khan, you're needed in the main lab," a voice called out. It was her assistant, Tom. Aisha nodded and followed Tom through the winding corridors of the secret underground facility. The lab was Earth's best-kept secret, hidden from both its own population and the prying eyes of alien observers. As they walked, Aisha's mind wandered to the countless times Earth had been laughed at in galactic meetings. She remembered the mocking tones, the dismissive gestures, the patronizing pats on the back. "Oh, look at the humans," they would say, still struggling with simple space travel. How cute. But they didn't know. They couldn't know. Earth had a secret weapon, and Aisha was at the heart of it. The main lab was a hive of activity. Scientists from all over the world worked tirelessly on what they called Project Breakthrough. Aisha's eyes immediately went to the central platform, where a strange, shimmering device stood. It looked like a mix between a spacecraft and a science experiment gone wrong. "Status report," Aisha demanded as she approached her team. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the team's theoretical physicist, spoke up. "We've made progress, Dr. Khan. The seventh-dimensional matrices are stabilizing. We're getting closer." Aisha allowed herself a small smile. The seventh dimension, a concept that most alien races considered theoretical at best and pure fantasy at worst. But here they were, on the brink of harnessing its power. Just then, a loud alarm blared through the facility. Red lights flashed, and everyone froze. "We've got company," Tom said, his voice tense. "Galactic patrol ship entering Earth's atmosphere." Aisha's heart raced. They couldn't be discovered, not now. Not when they were so close. "Activate the quantum camouflage," she ordered. "And someone get me a secure line to the president." As the team scrambled to hide their work, Aisha couldn't help but think about the irony of the situation. The very beings who laughed at them were now a threat to the most advanced project in human history. Minutes later, Aisha found herself in a secure communication room, face to face with the holographic image of the President of the United Earth Government. "Dr. Khan, report," the President said, her face etched with worry. "Madam President, we're close, closer than we've ever been. But these constant interruptions from the Galactic Patrol are slowing us down." The President nodded gravely. "I understand. But we can't reveal ourselves yet. The element of surprise is our only advantage." Aisha knew she was right. In the vast game of galactic politics, Earth was a small player. Their only hope was to change the rules of the game itself. "We'll maintain cover, Madam President, but we need more time." "Do whatever it takes, Doctor. The fate of our species depends on your work." As the hologram faded, Aisha felt the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. Outside, she could hear the Galactic Patrol ship landing. No doubt they were here for another routine inspection, barely hiding their amusement at Earth's perceived backwardness. Aisha walked back to the main lab, where her team waited anxiously. The seventh-dimensional device hummed softly, its true nature hidden beneath layers of deception. "Let them come," Aisha said to her team, a fierce determination in her eyes. "Let them laugh. Soon, the joke will be on them." As the sounds of the Galactic Patrol's heavy footsteps echoed through the corridors, Aisha and her team stood ready. They were the silent guardians of humanity's future, working in the shadows while the galaxy laughed. Little did the universe know, the cosmic joke was about to have an unexpected punchline, and when the laughter stopped, the galaxy would never be the same again. The underground lab buzzed with excitement. After years of hard work, setbacks, and sleepless nights, Dr. Aisha Khan and her team were ready to bring their dreams to life. Today was the day they would build humanity's secret weapon, the seventh dimension vessel named Infinity Piercer. Aisha stood before her team, her eyes gleaming with determination. "Today, we make history," she said. "Today, we prove that humanity is more than just a cosmic joke." The team cheered, their voices echoing off the metal walls of the massive construction bay. Before them stood the skeleton of what would soon become the most advanced ship in the known universe. As they worked, Aisha couldn't help but think about the countless alien races that had laughed at humanity's primitive technology. A small smile played on her lips. If only they knew. Hours turned into days, and days into weeks. The Infinity Piercer slowly took shape. Its hull was made of a special alloy that could withstand the stress of seventh-dimensional travel. The ship's core housed a device that looked like a glowing, pulsating crystal, the heart of their breakthrough technology. One day, as Aisha was fine-tuning the ship's systems, her assistant Tom rushed in, his face pale with excitement. "Dr. Khan, we've done it. The seventh-dimensional drive. It works." Aisha's heart raced as she followed Tom to the testing chamber. There, in a controlled environment, a small prototype of their technology was bending reality itself. Objects appeared and disappeared, moving through dimensions as easily as walking through a door. "It's beautiful," Aisha whispered, her eyes wide with wonder. As the team celebrated their success, Aisha's mind raced with the possibilities. With this technology, they could travel vast distances in the blink of an eye. They could manipulate space and time in ways that were thought impossible. The Infinity Piercer wouldn't just be a ship, it would be a key to unlocking the secrets of the universe. But with great power came great responsibility. Aisha knew that if this technology fell into the wrong hands, it could spell disaster for the entire galaxy. She called an emergency meeting with the Earth government. In a secure, underground chamber, Aisha stood before the world's leaders, explaining their breakthrough and its potential consequences. "We have the power to change everything," she said, "but we must be careful. The galaxy isn't ready to know about this yet." The president nodded gravely. "Agreed. This project must remain top secret. No one outside this room can know about the true capabilities of the Infinity Piercer." As Aisha left the meeting, she felt the weight of secrecy on her shoulders, but she also felt a spark of defiance. For too long, humanity had been pushed around, laughed at, treated like children in a universe of adults. Now they had the power to change that. Back at the lab, work continued on the Infinity Piercer. The ship was nearly complete, its sleek design hiding the revolutionary technology within. Aisha walked around it, running her hand along its smooth surface. "Soon," she whispered to the ship, "soon we'll show them what we're really capable of." But keeping such a massive secret wasn't easy. Rumors began to spread through the galactic community, whispers of a new power rising on Earth. Some alien races dismissed these rumors as fantasy. Others weren't so sure. One day, as Aisha was overseeing the final tests on the Infinity Piercer, an alarm blared through the facility. A galactic patrol ship had entered Earth's atmosphere without permission. "They're heading straight for us," Tom said, his voice tight with worry. Aisha's mind raced. Had they been discovered? Were they about to lose everything they had worked for? "Activate the quantum camouflage," she ordered, "and prepare the Infinity Piercer for emergency launch if needed." As the team scrambled to hide their work, Aisha stood tall, her eyes fixed on the ceiling, as if she could see through it to the approaching ship. "Let them come," she thought. "We're ready for whatever the galaxy throws at us now." The Infinity Piercer hummed softly behind her, a testament to human ingenuity and defiance. Whatever happened next, Aisha knew one thing for certain. The days of humanity being the galaxy's laughingstock were coming to an end. The dimensions of defiance had been opened, and there was no going back. The day Earth had both dreaded and eagerly awaited finally arrived. A massive alien armada appeared at the edge of the solar system, their weapons primed and ready. This wasn't a routine inspection or a diplomatic mission. It was an invasion. Dr. Aisha Khan stood in the control room of the secret underground base, her face illuminated by the glow of countless screens. Each one showed a different view of the approaching alien fleet. "They're here to wipe us out," the president's voice crackled through the speakers. "Dr. Khan, it's time. We need the Infinity Piercer." Aisha took a deep breath. This was it, the moment that would change everything. "Understood, Madam President. We're ready." She turned to her team, their faces a mix of fear and determination. "Let's show the galaxy what humanity is really capable of." With a series of commands, the ground above the secret base began to shake. Slowly, a massive hangar door opened, revealing the sleek form of the Infinity Piercer. Its hull gleamed in the sunlight, hiding the incredible technology within. Across the world, humans looked up in awe and confusion. News channels scrambled to report on the mysterious ship. And in space, the alien armada paused, their sensors detecting something they couldn't quite understand. Aisha and her core team boarded the Infinity Piercer. As the ship's systems came to life, Aisha felt a surge of pride. This was the culmination of years of work, of countless sacrifices. "All systems are go," Tom reported from his station. "Seventh dimensional drive is online and stable." Aisha nodded. "Take us up." The Infinity Piercer rose from its hidden base, hovering for a moment above the stunned crowds. Then, with a flash of light that seemed to bend reality itself, it vanished. In the space near Mars, the alien armada's leaders were discussing their invasion plans when alarms blared across their ships. Out of nowhere, the Infinity Piercer appeared in the middle of their fleet. Inside the Earth ship, Aisha and her team worked furiously. "Send the message," she ordered. A holographic projection of Aisha appeared before the alien commanders. Her voice, translated into every known galactic language, rang out clear and strong. "Attention, alien forces. This is Dr. Aisha Khan of Earth. We've known about your invasion plans for some time. We've also known how the galactic community views us, as a joke, a primitive species not worth considering. Today, that changes." With a series of commands, Aisha activated the Infinity Piercer's seventh dimensional technology. Space itself seemed to ripple around the Earth ship. In the blink of an eye, it teleported from one end of the alien fleet to the other, passing through ships as if they were ghosts. The alien commanders watched in stunned silence. Their most advanced sensors couldn't track the Earth ship's movements. Their weapons couldn't lock onto it. For the first time in their long history of conquest, they felt fear. Aisha's hologram continued. "As you can see, we are no longer the primitive species you thought we were. We have mastered technology your finest scientists deemed impossible. The seventh dimension is ours to command." She paused, letting her words sink in. "We don't want war. We don't seek conquest. All we ask is to be treated as equals in the galactic community. Leave our solar system now, and let's begin a new chapter of peaceful cooperation." For a long moment, silence reigned. Then, slowly, the alien ships began to turn away. Their commanders knew that facing this unknown, incredibly advanced technology would be suicide. As the alien armada retreated, cheers erupted across Earth. The secret was out, and humanity had just taken its place as a major player on the galactic stage. Back on the Infinity Piercer, Aisha allowed herself a small smile. "Take us home," she said. As they flew back to Earth, Aisha knew that this was just the beginning. The galaxy was about to enter a new era, one where humanity would play a central role. The cosmic joke had turned into a cosmic game-changer. The unveiling of the Infinity Piercer hadn't just saved Earth. It had reshaped the future of the entire galaxy. And Aisha Khan, once laughed at by alien scientists, now stood at the forefront of a new age of exploration and discovery. As Earth grew larger in the view screen, Aisha whispered to herself, "Look who's laughing now." The galaxy was in turmoil. News of Earth's incredible technology spread like wildfire across the stars. Overnight, the once laughable humans had become the most talked-about species in the universe. Dr. Aisha Khan stood before the United Galactic Council, her head held high. The circular chamber was filled with representatives from hundreds of alien races, all eyes fixed on the human scientist who had changed everything. Dr. Khan, the council leader, a tall, blue-skinned being, spoke. Your infinity piercer has upset the balance of power in our galaxy. What do you have to say for yourself? Aisha took a deep breath. We didn't create this technology to dominate or threaten. We did it to protect ourselves and earn the respect we deserve. Murmurs filled the chamber. Some nodded in agreement, others scoffed. And what do you plan to do with this power? Another counselor asked. We want to join you as equals, Aisha replied. To explore the universe together, to solve problems that have puzzled us all for millennia. As the council debated, Aisha couldn't help but notice the mix of fear and admiration in the aliens' eyes. It was a far cry from the condescending looks humans used to receive. Back on Earth, things were changing rapidly. Alien diplomats flocked to the planet, eager to establish new relationships. Some came with offers of alliance, others with thinly veiled threats. In her lab, Aisha and her team worked tirelessly to improve the infinity piercer. If we can stabilize the seventh dimensional field, she explained to Tom, we could potentially create pocket universes. Tom's eyes widened. That's incredible. We could solve overpopulation, create safe testing grounds for dangerous experiments. Exactly, Aisha nodded. But we need to be careful. This kind of power, it could be misused. Their work was interrupted by an urgent call from the president. Dr. Khan, we have a situation. The Zorlak Empire is demanding we share our technology. They're threatening war if we refuse. Aisha frowned. The Zorlaks were known for their aggressive expansion. Giving them seventh-dimensional technology would be disastrous. Tell them I'll meet with their ambassador, Aisha said, on the infinity piercer. The meeting was tense. The Zorlak ambassador, a reptilian creature with gleaming scales, glared at Aisha. You humans think you can upset millennia of galactic order. Share your technology, or face the consequences. Aisha remained calm. Ambassador, let me show you something. With a few commands, the infinity piercer's engines hummed to life. In an instant, they were no longer in Earth's orbit. The ship had transported them to the heart of a stellar nursery, thousands of light years away. Newborn stars glowed all around them. The ambassador's eyes widened in shock. How is this possible? This is just a fraction of what we can do, Aisha explained. We could have taken us to the edge of the universe if we wanted. Now, imagine this power in the wrong hands. That's why we can't share it. The return trip was silent. The ambassador, once arrogant, now seemed deep in thought. As news of this encounter spread, more and more races began to see Earth not as a threat, but as a potential protector. Requests for alliances poured in. But not everyone was happy. Some of the older, more established powers saw Earth's rise as a challenge to their dominance. Secret meetings were held, plans were made. Aisha knew the peace wouldn't last. We need to be prepared, she told her team. The real test is yet to come. As if on cue, alarms blared through the lab. Multiple unidentified ships entering the solar system. Tom reported, his voice tense. Aisha's eyes narrowed. The power shift had begun, and Earth was at the center of it all. Whatever came next, she knew one thing for certain. Humanity would never be underestimated again. As she boarded the infinity piercer once more, Aisha felt the weight of not just Earth, but potentially the whole galaxy on her shoulders. The ship hummed to life, ready to face whatever the universe threw at them. The cosmic joke had become a cosmic Game of Thrones, and Earth was holding all the cards. The alarms blared throughout Earth's defense network. Thousands of warships from the Kraxan Empire, one of the oldest and most powerful civilizations in the galaxy, had appeared at the edge of the solar system. Dr. Aisha Khan raced to the Infinity Piercer, her mind racing with possibilities and plans. This was the moment they had feared and prepared for. "Status report," she barked as she entered the bridge. Tom, her loyal assistant, looked up from his console. "The Kraxan fleet is holding position just beyond Neptune. They're hailing us." Aisha nodded grimly. On screen, the holographic display flickered to life, revealing the imposing figure of the Kraxan Emperor. His metallic skin gleamed in the light of 100 suns. "Humans," the Emperor's voice boomed, "your time of playing with powers beyond your understanding is over. Surrender your seventh dimension technology, or we will reduce your world to ash." Aisha stood tall, her voice steady. "Emperor, we have no quarrel with you. We only wish to live in peace and be treated as equals." The Emperor laughed, a harsh, grating sound. "Equals? You were barely more than animals a century ago. Know your place." The transmission cut off abruptly. Aisha turned to her crew, determination burning in her eyes. "Prepare for emergency dimensional jump. We're taking the fight to them." As the Infinity Piercer's engines hummed to life, Aisha outlined her daring plan. They would use the seventh dimension to infiltrate the Kraxan command ship and disable their fleet from within. In a flash of impossible light, the Infinity Piercer vanished from Earth's orbit. The Kraxan fleet, with all their advanced technology, didn't even notice the small Earth ship that suddenly appeared in the heart of their formation. Inside the Infinity Piercer, Aisha and a small team prepared for their mission. They wore specially designed suits that would protect them in the seventh dimension. "Remember," Aisha warned, "in the seventh dimension, reality is fluid. Trust your training and trust each other." With a deep breath, Aisha activated the seventh dimensional field. The world around them shimmered and warped. They could see the Kraxan ships, but they looked different, like ghostly outlines of possibility rather than solid metal. The team moved through the seventh dimension, passing through the hull of the Kraxan command ship as if it were mist. Inside, they saw Kraxan soldiers frozen in time, unaware of the intruders in their midst. They made their way to the ship's central computer core. In the seventh dimension, the complex Kraxan technology looked like a tangled web of energy and information. Aisha pulled out a device of her own design. In the normal universe, it was a simple data drive. But here, in the seventh dimension, it became a key that could unlock and rewrite the very fabric of reality. As she worked to implant the device, alarms suddenly blared. The Kraxans had detected their presence. "They're trying to collapse the seventh dimensional field," Tom shouted. Aisha worked faster, her fingers dancing over the ethereal controls. Just as the world began to solidify around them, she finished. "Got it. Back to the ship now." They raced through the twisting corridors of seventh dimensional space, reality snapping back into place behind them. They barely made it back to the Infinity Piercer before the Kraxan's dimensional countermeasures fully activated. As they escaped into normal space, Aisha activated her device. Across the Kraxan fleet, ships began to power down, their advanced weapons and shields rendered useless. On the bridge of his command ship, the Kraxan Emperor watched in horror as his mighty fleet was neutralized by an enemy he had underestimated. Aisha hailed the Kraxan ship. "Emperor, this is Dr. Aisha Khan. Your fleet has been disabled, but your people are unharmed. We could have destroyed you, but that's not our way. Let this be a lesson. Humanity is ready to stand as equals in this galaxy. We extend an offer of peace. The choice is yours." There was a long pause before the Emperor's reply came. Perhaps we judged your species too hastily, Dr. Khan. We would be open to discussions." As the Infinity Piercer turned back towards Earth, Aisha allowed herself a small smile. The seventh dimension gambit had paid off. Humanity had faced its greatest threat and emerged victorious, not through destruction, but through ingenuity and mercy. The balance of power in the galaxy had shifted once again, and at its center stood Earth, no longer a cosmic joke, but a force to be reckoned with. The news of Earth's victory over the Kraxan Empire spread across the galaxy like a supernova. Dr. Aisha Khan had become a legend, and humanity was now seen as both a beacon of hope and a potential threat. Aisha stood at the window of the newly built Galactic Embassy on Earth, watching ships from 100 different worlds dock at the orbital station above. The view still amazed her. "Dr. Khan," a voice called. She turned to see Tom, looking worried. "The Galactic Council is ready for your address." Aisha nodded, smoothing down her formal uniform. Today, she would speak not just for Earth, but for the future of the entire galaxy. The council chamber was packed. Representatives from every major civilization sat in tiered seats, their eyes fixed on the human scientist who had changed the course of history. As Aisha stepped up to the podium, she could feel the weight of countless worlds on her shoulders. She took a deep breath and began. "Distinguished representatives, I stand before you today not as a conqueror, not as a threat, but as a fellow seeker of knowledge and peace." She paused, looking around the room. Some faces showed admiration, others fear, and a few, calculation. Earth's mastery of seventh-dimensional technology has raised concerns. Some fear we will use this power to dominate. Others worry about the balance of the galaxy. I am here to address these fears. Aisha pressed a button, and a hologram appeared beside her. It showed the Infinity Piercer, but with modifications. "We propose the creation of a galactic science initiative. The Infinity Piercer will be refitted as a research vessel, crewed by scientists from every willing world. Together, we will explore the frontiers of seventh-dimensional science, for the benefit of all." Murmurs filled the chamber. This was unexpected. Furthermore, Aisha continued, "We will share our defensive applications of this technology with the Galactic Council. No single race should have the power to threaten entire civilizations." The chamber erupted in heated discussion. The Kraxan representative stood up, his metallic skin gleaming. "And why should we trust you, humans? How do we know this isn't a ploy to spy on our technologies?" Aisha met his gaze steadily. "Because trust must start somewhere. We were once the laughingstock of the galaxy. We know the pain of being underestimated, of being seen as lesser. We don't wish that on anyone else." She turned, addressing the entire council. "We have the power to destroy worlds, yes, but we choose to build bridges instead. We have the technology to conquer, but we choose to cooperate. That is the true strength of humanity." As Aisha's words sank in, a slow change came over the chamber. The tension began to ease. Even the Kraxan representative seemed thoughtful. An elderly Zorlak, known for his wisdom, spoke up. "Dr. Khan speaks truth. Fear leads to conflict, but cooperation leads to growth. I, for one, support this initiative." One by one, other representatives voiced their agreement. It wasn't unanimous, but it was a start. As the session ended, Aisha felt a mix of relief and anticipation. The real work was just beginning. Outside the chamber, she was approached by a group of young aliens, their eyes shining with excitement. "Dr. Khan," one of them said, "we're students from the Galactic Science Academy. Your work has inspired us. We want to learn more about seventh-dimensional physics." Aisha smiled, truly smiled, for the first time in what felt like years. This, she realized, was the real victory. Not defeating enemies, but inspiring the next generation. As she began to explain some basic concepts to the eager students, Aisha knew that the consequences of Earth's actions would ripple across the cosmos for eons to come. But for now and in this moment, she saw a future bright with possibility. The galaxy had changed forever. The cosmic joke had become a cosmic opportunity, and humanity was leading the way into a new age of exploration and understanding. 5 years had passed since Earth's dramatic entry onto the galactic stage. The Infinity Piercer, once a symbol of humanity's defiance, now sailed through the cosmos as a beacon of cooperation and discovery. Dr. Aisha Khan stood on the bridge of the legendary ship, surrounded by a crew that represented a dozen different species. The view screen showed their destination, a swirling anomaly at the edge of known space. "Status report," Aisha called out. A young Zorlak officer responded, her scales shimmering with excitement. "Seventh dimensional drive is stable, Dr. Khan. We're ready to make the jump into the unknown region." Aisha nodded, a small smile on her face. "Proceed, Lieutenant Sachs." As the Infinity Piercer engaged its drive, reality itself seemed to bend. In a flash of impossible light, they were there, in a part of the universe no sentient being had ever seen before. Gasps of awe filled the bridge. Before them lay a vast network of energy streams, pulsing with colors that had no names in any language. "It's beautiful," Tom whispered from his station. Even after all these years, he remained Aisha's trusted right hand. "And potentially dangerous," Aisha reminded everyone. "Remember your training. In the seventh dimension, thoughts can become reality. Stay focused." As the crew began their scans and observations, Aisha couldn't help but reflect on how much had changed. Earth, once a cosmic backwater, was now a central hub of galactic science and diplomacy. The Galactic Science Initiative, born from Aisha's proposal years ago, had flourished beyond her wildest dreams. Breakthroughs in medicine, energy, and environmental restoration had improved lives across countless worlds. But it hadn't all been smooth sailing. There had been attempts by various factions to steal or replicate Earth's seventh-dimensional technology. Each time, the combined efforts of Earth and its new allies had thwarted these plans. Aisha's thoughts were interrupted by an urgent call from Earth. The face of the Galactic Council President, a wise Andromedan, appeared on screen. "Dr. Khan, we have a situation," the President said, her bioluminescent patterns flashing with concern. "A rogue group has taken control of a space station in the Orion sector. They're threatening to detonate a seventh-dimensional bomb if their demands aren't met." Aisha's mind raced. A seventh-dimensional explosion could rip apart the fabric of space-time itself. "We're on our way," she said firmly. As the Infinity Piercer prepared to jump back to known space, Aisha addressed her crew. "This is what we've trained for. The galaxy is counting on us." The journey back was tense. Aisha coordinated with Earth's defense forces and their alien allies. A plan began to form in her mind. Risky, but with the potential to save millions of lives. As they approached the Orion sector, Aisha put on her seventh-dimensional suit. "Tom, you have the bridge. I'm going in alone." "But Dr. Khan," Tom protested, "it's too dangerous." Aisha placed a hand on his shoulder. "Sometimes, old friend, the best way to prove we're not a threat is to put ourselves at risk for others." Using the Infinity Piercer's technology, Aisha transported directly into the heart of the space station. The terrorists, a mix of species united by fear and misunderstanding, were shocked by her sudden appearance. "I am unarmed," Aisha announced, her voice steady. "I'm here to listen to your concerns and find a peaceful solution." What followed was the most intense negotiation of Aisha's life. She listened to their fears about Earth's power, addressed their misconceptions, and offered solutions that could address their grievances without violence. Hours later, the crisis was over. The bomb was disarmed, and the terrorists surrendered, not to face punishment, but to join a new outreach program aimed at fostering understanding between species. As Aisha returned to the Infinity Piercer, exhausted but triumphant, she was met with cheers from her multi-species crew. News of her peaceful resolution had already spread across the galaxy. Looking out at the stars, Aisha felt a profound sense of hope. The universe was vast and full of wonders, but also dangers. Yet here they were, former enemies now working together, exploring and protecting their shared cosmos. A new era had truly dawned. Humanity had found its place among the stars not through dominance, but through wisdom, courage, and an unwavering commitment to understanding. As the Infinity Piercer set course for new adventures, Aisha knew that the greatest discoveries and challenges still lay ahead. But whatever the cosmos had in store, they would face it together, as equals in this grand galactic community.